It's nice to see everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope I don't miss anybody, but I'm joined by Councilmember Gray, Councilmember Jared Grosset. We have with us Charles West, Nadia Morris, Erica Macondo at Diggs, who is the head of the Urban League. We have Mr. Greg Rusevich, one of our great business leaders, Dwayne Brunell, Deputy Mayor Judy Reese-Morse, Brooks Smith, Coleman Ridley, and we have our Sheriff Marlin Gusman with us, as well as a number of other community leaders and community partners for this event, some of whom will talk after I'll make some brief opening comments. Today we are here to introduce and to continue to work on the comprehensive workforce reentry program for the city of New Orleans. This has been a long day in coming. It's an excellent day, and it's a wonderful day to be thankful for collaboration and partnership between and amongst partners. So I want to thank everybody for the tremendous amount of effort and time that you put into this very important task. As you know, I have said many, many times that it's very clear that the people of New Orleans want to move forward, but we want to move forward together as one city. I've often said one team, one fight, one voice, one city, and what that means is we're not going to leave anybody behind. And we have got to find ways to create pathways to prosperity and pathways away from violence and pathways towards opportunity and to growth. And so across the country, in our state and in our city, we have been losing and we continue to lose every day generations of promise. So in New Orleans, we decided that we weren't going to kick the can down the road anymore on any tough issues, and that we were going to face the toughest of the tough. And so we put together, with the leadership of Deputy Mayor Judy Reese-Morse and our entire team, an item called NOLA for Life, which is a comprehensive murder reduction strategy. We believe it's holistic, we believe it's smart, but it's designed to hit the streets. It's a comprehensive strategy, and it is designed to change the culture of violence to a culture of peace and to save lives and to improve the quality of life in the city of New Orleans. We are seeing some very early results. Today, we have a murder rate that has hit a 30-year low. That is a very good thing. However, we are still on our best day worse than most other areas in the country and not near where we need to be in terms of protecting our citizens, and we have to keep doing more. Well, we're partnering on issues like we've never partnered before. Our young men who are most at risk are being placed in the front of the line now, and we are saying to them, in order for you to make good choices, we have to do our part, and we have to be there. We have to provide jobs, we have to provide opportunities, and we are doing that right now. But still, as I said, there is much, much more work to be done. We have to interrupt the cycle of violence because it leaves 1 in 4 African American males behind bars, and 1 in 7 either in prison, on parole, or on probation. So today, to combat that, we are going to introduce the city's reentry strategy. In the last year, we worked with over 45 organizations, represented in large part by the men and women who are standing behind me. They have come together to put together a comprehensive plan that is going to do a couple of things. It's going to increase access to jobs, to social services, and to economic opportunities for our returning citizens. Our new strategy is going to introduce programs and policies to give our returning citizens the best chances for success, for those inside the correctional facilities, in the community, and of course, in the workplace as well. This strategy is our collective opportunity to break down barriers, as I've said, that leaves 1 in 86 adults in our state incarcerated, and 1/3 of those on probation, parole, or reincarcerated come back within 3 years. That's the startling number that has to change. We now are going to offer to support our returning citizens. And the new way in New Orleans is about bringing people together and collaborating, getting things done, and leveraging our resources. So for this new strategy, we're relying on the knowledge and partnership of every sector. Over the last 9 months, we brought together all of these folks to create a comprehensive approach. That was our first step. The second step you saw some months ago when I recommended to the Civil Service Commission that we ban the box. We did this last September about the criminal history on city job applications to ensure that candidates were judged first by who they were and not whether or not they were a convicted felon. And now our third step is to implement this reentry pilot program, which is going to add technology training and reorientation to society seminars to the returning citizens within 72 hours of them beginning their return home. This pilot program is going to focus on the most at risk after they're released. We're going to target men and women ages 16 through 30 with a high school diploma or less who have committed a felony and have been incarcerated or on probation. We are going to do this in a way that creates a new path and show them our commitment to them being important citizens to all of us. We are looking forward to 2018. We have to make it a priority in this city to improve the quality of life for not just some, but all of our residents, and make no mistake about it, those most at risk have to make good choices, but we have to give them the opportunity to do so. And we must meet those choices that they make with opportunity, access to education, key services, and jobs. We may not be all at fault for creating the current condition that we have, but we're all responsible for coming together and finding an answer to it. And the work of the men and women behind us that has taken such a long period of time is going to go a long way to making sure that the responsibilities of the city and the people of the city are met. So again, I want to thank all of you for the work that you guys have done. I'd like to call up Mr. Charles West, who's our director of our innovation delivery team, to make some comments and to add more to the program. Thank you so much. Please help me welcome Dr. Charles West.
Good afternoon. As Mayor Landrieu said, 1 in 7 black males in New Orleans are either in prison, on parole, or on probation. And so we need to interrupt this cycle, and now is the time to do that. 2 years ago, we came together to construct NOLA for Life. The way that we develop all of our initiatives is to really deeply understand the data, to do the research, to engage a broad set of both local and national experts and stakeholders. And in doing that, we learned a number of things. Of course, we knew that an overwhelming number of the murder victims were young African-American males between the ages of 16 to 24. But when you look deeper, when you look at the ages of 16 to 30, you see that those are the young men that are most likely to return to jail. And so our efforts, our strategy, and our pilot program are focused on that area. Through that, NOLA for Life is constructed around 5 pillars: stop the shootings, investing in prevention, getting involved in rebuilding neighborhoods, strengthening NOPD. But today we're focused on providing jobs and opportunities. That 5th pillar is really one of the key things to reducing recidivism in New Orleans, really providing stable employment and economic opportunity. So today's announcement is about that. It's about shaping the strategy through the data, through all of these partners adding their parts so that we can, as a whole, make a difference in reducing the recidivism and the number of men that are incarcerated in New Orleans. We've worked over the past 9 months with our service partners to construct this strategy. The focus is providing job training, education, and jobs, but also fostering meaningful relationships between our returning citizens and their families, providing access to the physical and mental illness, treating the physical and mental illness issues that are prevalent in our community, and also managing that key transition period. We know for many of the men that are exiting detention, within that first 6 months is really the key time that we need to make sure that they have access to all of the supports that they need to make a transition back to society. So our pipeline includes everyone you see here today. We'll take referrals from both the sheriff and Judge Hunter and Judge White's reentry programs, but then also from clergy and from anyone who knows someone who needs help. From there, they go to Job 1. Job 1 is really the hub. That gets the person access to the entire workforce development system in the city of New Orleans. And there's dedicated resources and a transition specialist who's focused on working directly with our returning citizens. At that point, they move on to one of our case management partners. There are 4 case management partners who will then assign someone to work directly with that individual and ensure that there are no gaps between them getting what they need. We'll also connect them then to any of the other services, from parenting to housing assistance to substance abuse, or any of the other things that will be a barrier to them not just getting, but also retaining that job long term. And last, everything then goes to getting that job. And so we're partnered with the business community, and they're here really to work with all of the employers throughout the city to ensure that they too are investing in providing jobs for our returning citizens. Our intensive pilot program is focused on those that are most at risk of violence. And so we're really focused in, as we are with everything in NOLA for Life, in getting to the right people at the right time, providing what they need so that we can end this cycle of violence. So as I said, our referrals come from a variety of sources, but it's definitely the city council, the sheriff, the clergy, the advocates, that all will be the ones that will help us make sure that everyone who needs this has access to it. And so I would like to pass to Councilmember Brosette.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Judge White. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and your team for this great partnership that is unveiled today, this new reentry program. We all understand up here, and many of you out there, that how we've dealt with citizens returning from incarceration has long been a very big and major challenge for our community. I see the detriment every day in my district, throughout the city. Those with no hope and no opportunity turn to violence and crime, endangering themselves and our entire city. It's imperative that we address the real needs of men and women who have traditionally been blocked from opportunity. Today, we have the ability to offer these citizens a chance at starting fresh by aligning wraparound services to address all the needs of the most at risk, perpetuating the cycle. The reentry strategy, as known as NOLA for Life, aims to reduce recidivism by increasing access to employment, social services, and educational support for citizens returning from incarceration. We know by providing access to jobs and meaningful opportunities to successfully transition returning citizens back into the community is critical to the health care of our families and our cities as a whole. I applaud the leadership of the Mayor Landrieu, Executive Director of Job 1, Nadia, and the hard work of all the service providers and business leaders who are committed to making New Orleans a better place for all of our citizens, including TCA, which I'm proud to be a new member, a new board member. Thank you, Delma French, our U.S. Attorney Kenneth. Thank you to the sheriff for his hard work on his side, our DA, and many of the people that surround, I would say, my generation, with Nadia, Erica, Dwayne, Brian. You know, this is our community. I gotta give them, because this is also, I mean, you know, we went to school not together, but we've all known each other. But I had to point them out, and many of you in the audience, we care about our community, and we want to see a better New Orleans. One where everybody succeeds and everybody has an access to opportunity. And so when we work together, we achieve a whole lot more. So thank you.
Thank you very much. I was one of those who was working with the PTA when those people were in school. First of all, I want to thank the mayor and the people standing behind me for their commitment to what they have done. I want to, I think he's going to come up to speak, our new U.S. Attorney, who I'm so happy to see him every time he walks into the room and listen to what he has to say about this issue. They are the second most important part in this puzzle, and we thank them for what they're doing, and we hope others in that group will commit to do everything you can to make those returning citizens have an easier way to go and an easier opportunity to make it in this world. But the first most important group, and everyone needs to know this, is those returning citizens. And those who have not yet gone to jail, but who might, who are in the middle. They need to know that their future is in their hands. We will help, we will do everything we can to help. But you will be saved only if you are prepared to save yourself, only if you believe that you have the power to save yourself. And you have to believe that to put in the work that's necessary. I say to the leaders of our community, you need to make absolutely sure that every person has something to lose. You have to give them a possible future that they realize is attainable, and that if they don't act right, they may lose that attainable future. But the real task is to convince all of our young men that they do have a future, that they do have a future that's within their control, and that if you act right, work hard, do right, and have a little luck. My grandmother said the most important thing in raising children is to be lucky, and I think she was right. But there are a lot of other important things, and we need to work on those things we can control. And we are going to have a better city. And we are fortunate to have the mayor, the sheriff, the U.S. attorney that we have at this point in time who will bring about the changes we need. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's important for us all to understand the true depths of the problems that we're dealing with in our criminal justice system. And at the federal level, we are currently incarcerating about 219,000 individuals. Within 3 years after they are released, about 40% of those individuals will be back in a jail cell. At the state, local, and county/parish level, we are talking about another 9 to 10 million individuals. Within 3 years of their release, about 60% of those individuals will be back in jail. We all have to realize that what we are doing thus far, simply incarcerating more people for longer periods of time without investing in the resources and opportunities to ensure that they do not return to jail, is simply not working. And so it's also just as important to understand that this is a solution that is not politically motivated. It is supported on both the left and the right. People across the entire political spectrum have come to realize that it no longer makes sense for us to throw good money after bad in incarcerating more people and more people. At the federal level, right now, our Department of Justice spends $6 billion a year just on the Bureau of Prisons. Okay, $6 billion. That's $6 billion that are not being reinvested in opportunities like this Reentry initiative. A slight sliver of that money could be spent hiring more agents, more AUSAs, more investigators to truly take the most violent elements of our society off the streets, to better address political corruption in our communities. That is where our money would be better spent. And so I'm happy to be here standing beside our mayor. My understanding is that a small sliver of that has been invested in this program by the Department of Justice to support this initiative. And so with all of our partners gathered here, I say, all of you, continue your work, continue investing in this type of initiative, and understand that all of us together can truly lead to greater justice for our entire community. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, I don't see Judge Hunter with us, I don't believe. So Judge White, I'm going to ask you to come speak on behalf of Criminal District Court. These ideas have to be fermented somewhere. Judge White and Judge Hunter took the lead on this and have been working on reentry programs at criminal court for a long time. We wanted to help a little bit by bringing along some other friends to help plus this up, as we like to say. But please help me welcome Judge White from Criminal District Court.
I'm a little late because I had reentry court this morning. So I spent a lot of time with people that are returning to the community, and we deal with things like getting a driver's license, finding housing, seeing what additional needs they have, from a job to child support issues. So if any of you know people that will help and are not adverse to hiring anyone or giving them help, I need lawyers to help. I need them to help get a Department of Motor Vehicle block on a name. Those are the things we need. So if you or any of your agencies are willing to help, please contact us. I'm so grateful to be a part of this group. I'm so glad our entire city is looking at this. because I'm tired of locking people up for really, really long times. Some people need to be locked up, some people need to be locked up for short periods of time. Some people don't need to be locked up, some people need treatment. So as long as we can all work together, that's the way it should be, and I'm very grateful. Judge Hunter and I appreciate the opportunity to be a part of this group. Our program is thriving. This is the first in the state, administered by the courts, and we now, through the legislature, have 6 more parishes. And I'm happy to tell you that Assistant Warden Kathy Fontenot is back there, and my reentry people go directly to Louisiana State Penitentiary, where they stay for a minimum of 2 years, and they come out and return to this community, and we hope you all will welcome them and provide them the services and our court the help that we're trying to give to these people. Thank you, Mayor. We appreciate it.
Help me welcome Judge Marlin Gusman.
And Mayor, thank you. And let me thank the mayor and everybody else here for this outstanding partnership. We're so much stronger when we work together. And over 4 years ago, Leo Hayden, we recruited Leo Hayden out of Chicago to start our reentry program. And now, 4 years later, almost 2,000 people later, we've made an impact. We've reduced recidivism through our transitional work program, through the many partnerships that we have with individuals, some who I see in the room, like Associated Catholic Charities, Ronnie Moore, and working with this initiative, I think can only make us better as a community. I heard the statistics that the U.S. Attorney put out. Look, the big issue is that within a year, almost 1/3 of the people reoffend. That's why it's so critical. These first 6 months are important. The first year is important. The first 72 hours are important. Our reentry program with Associated Catholic Charities, Reentry 72, makes a difference. So we want to thank them, and I'm going to stop talking and let Leo, because he's the man.
Thank you, Sheriff. I'm just going to make this real brief, and I want to thank the Sheriff for bringing me up. And I just want to tell you about our secret weapon. Our secret weapon is someone that we all know, that we all seen. And when our guys come back to Orleans Parish to participate in the program, it's the first people that they contact on the phone when they're coming back this way. You're probably getting an idea now that I'm talking about family. Family, for us, has been that hidden secret weapon. I believe that the transition is only as sturdy as the foundation that the family who is helping that transition take place can support. So we support the families in a big way. A lot of people around the country are beginning to get a hold of this, Sheriff. They're beginning to provide that family support too as well, and understand how important it is. Nobody, not me, not you, not the mayor, not the sheriff, nobody can do this by themselves. And the primary goal that we have is to make sure that whatever those positive resources are that exist within that family can come to bear in relation to the Southeast Regional Reentry Program. Thank you, Sheriff. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Please help me welcome Ms. Nadia Morris, Director of the Mayor's Office of Workforce Development.
Thank you, Mayor. Good afternoon. This is a wonderful group to be a part of, and I really do count it a privilege to be part of this group in order to serve our community. I have the privilege of serving as the Director for the Mayor's Office of Workforce Development, and our goal is really to make sure that the intersections work. We are at the intersection of our providers, our job seekers, and our employers. And we might support our job seekers in order to make sure that they are job ready. And so for our returning citizens, we work with our transition specialists and make sure that we have very targeted services for them so that they can become job ready and or training ready. With our employers, we offer many services to them, including fidelity bonds that are available at no cost to the employer in the amount of $5,000, so to help encourage employers who are interested in hiring people who are returning to the community to work. And we work with our service providers to make sure that we send to them job seekers who are in search of their services, in need of their services in order to support themselves and their family. So we work in a very special place. I thank you all for coming to our space today. You're actually in the Youth Career Center, And so as we talk about returning citizens, a lot of this work is also about prevention. And so making sure that our young people have valuable opportunities, that they have viable opportunities. And Mayor, I'm gonna take this moment to plug the Summer Youth Employment Program. Right now, we have thousands of teenagers who are at work because this city sees fit to make an investment in them and to make certain that they are working this summer, that they get the experience that they need in order to support themselves and their family and really live out their dreams. So this is a special place. This is a special time in our history as the city, and I'm really, really honored to be a part of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The Urban League is proud to stand here with the mayor and alongside this tremendous group of committed partners. Together, we work to provide a comprehensive system of services for New Orleans citizens returning home from incarceration. The mission of the Urban League is to help individuals attain economic self-sufficiency and civil rights. We do that through our Center for Education and Youth Development, Workforce and Economic Development, and Policy and Advocacy. As part of the city's Reentry program, the Urban League has committed to provide the following critical services: intensive case management support to participants, geared at assessing their needs and assisting them through their return home. High-sit classes. An important element of this strategy is education. We know that many of those incarcerated or formerly incarcerated have not had access to quality education. Our education program is aimed at meeting participants where they are and offering them the tools to move forward. And finally, workforce opportunities. Our goal is to build core competencies that produce a common set of skills for career success. We will provide a foundation for job seekers to access a full range of occupations with livable wages. We will also tap into our network of entrepreneurs and business leaders to find opportunities for those re-entering society. Taken together, we are committed to ensuring that these returning citizens are prepared to take on the opportunities we are working to create. Thank you.
Executive Committee of the Business Council.
Thank you. First, I'd like to thank Mayor Landrieu for this initiative. I think it's a wonderful initiative, and we thank you very much for your leadership and for the initiative. From the Business Council perspective, and I think from the business community perspective, this is a moral imperative. I was blessed to have been asked by the mayor to have attended a call-in recently, and it was one of the most powerful personal experiences I've had, and it just demonstrated the seriousness to which we in the community must take this. And we recognize from the Business Council and business community perspective, if we don't provide jobs to those who have served their time and those who have worked hard in their time of incarceration at getting degrees and at learning crafts and skills to come back as returning citizens and hope that the community will help them, shame on us if we can't find an opportunity to assist. It's our goal to absolutely help the community. It's our goal to help these people, the returning citizens that are coming back and their families. And frankly, it's good for business. It's good for business. We have workforce training issues. We need the workforce. So it's good for business. The returning citizens that want the jobs, they've worked hard to prepare. We want them. We want to welcome them in. And I'll close with this. We're having a very important meeting tomorrow. We've done a due diligence on this on this very serious community and national issue for the last year. And during that year, we've become convinced now that the city has set up, through service providers and through the city officials and through the reentry programs, the city has now organized a robust reentry program of opportunity. And so it's now our chance to do our part. So we're having meetings tomorrow. It's a continued set, but this is a very important group we're pulling in tomorrow, where we're pulling key business community leaders together, key business council leaders together, key service providers together, key reentry program leaders together. We're rolling up the sleeves, we're closing the